Now I don't know about you, but I adore GTA 5 at Christmas. Maybe it's just me getting into the festive season or the decades of nostalgia I now have for this mode, but there is something that sets it apart from other games this time of year. I just always feel like there's such an excitement around earning new weapons, the limited time modes, the different outfits, the new vehicles, the new collectibles, and most importantly, having the free time to spend it and do all these things with your friends. However, with the release of GTA 6 likely to be in 2025 at some point, it's looking as if this will be the final festivities that we actually have in Los Santos. So I thought this was as good of an excuse as any other time to load into GTA 5 at Christmas one final time and reminisce as to why playing this game at Christmas is just so much fun. Now if you are new here and you do love gaming videos like this, please do consider subscribing as it really does support the channel. But without further ado, let's get into why GTA at Christmas is so fantastic. So I know this might sound stupid, but one of the biggest and most obvious changes that happens when it reaches GTA 5 Christmas time is that the whole map gets covered in snow. Now this obviously makes a massive change both to the visuals of the map itself, but also the actual gameplay as well. From an aesthetic standpoint, there's something just truly magical about seeing the whole of Los Santos just caked in snow. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the vibe that it brings, but it's just such a feel-good factor. You know that it's going to be an enjoyable experience as soon as you set out into the city. Now from the gameplay standpoint, the snow obviously bears its own effect as well. With it being Grand Theft Auto, a lot of what you do revolves around driving. And I don't know if you've noticed, but trying to drive in the snow is a real pain in the ass. However, at the same time, that level of detail making snow more than just a cosmetic change just adds an element of realism to the world itself. The more slippery surface on your tyre grip doesn't just affect driving in free mode though, it actually spreads to the other vehicular based modes and it just causes absolute carnage. So if you want to do a race for example, particularly a stunt race, these become way more difficult. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly Max Verstappen, but trying to turn corners is virtually impossible. But at the same time, it's something that all of the drivers have to deal with, and that change to some of these modes really just refreshes them and makes these previously overplayed races, for example, feel like an entirely different product. Don't get me wrong, changing the weather in a video game isn't exactly revolutionary even when GTA 5 came out, but at least to my knowledge, we never saw it at that scale of a massive online console title. I don't remember any other events that would literally alter the entirety of the world that you're playing in just to suit the holiday season. I know you see winter modes and seasonal events way more frequently nowadays, but a lot of these games that do it today are more live service based, when you think about like your Call of Duties, your Overwatches, things like that. However, GTA was really the first to break the mold and sort of celebrate this season, and not only that, to me, it feels as if it's treated differently than it is within other games. So when you have games like Overwatch offering loads of microtransactions and skins attached to the festive period, GTA wasn't really about that as much. It felt to me the mode as a whole was to just celebrate the updates of the game, including the weather and all of the new stuff that's available. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that there are microtransactions there within Grand Theft Auto 5, but they were there year round. They weren't exclusive for the Christmas period. You didn't need to buy one specifically to get the Christmas content. Now speaking of that content, one aspect which was always updated when it came to Christmas were the guns and gadgets available to you. Back in the day, I remember absolutely falling in love with the firework launcher, which I think we received in one of the initial Christmas updates. Like, it got to the point that I actually saved the rockets in it to make sure I had them throughout the year, because I don't think you could buy them at that stage. I know this seems like old news now, but at the time, this was like revolutionary. You could launch fireworks and it was brilliant and it was just all fresh and not something that had been seen before in Grand Theft Auto. And it seems as if the freshness of these new weapons is something that's still continued up until this day, with this year's Christmas update offering a snowball launcher, which I think might have been released a couple of years earlier, but still, for myself, it was brand new, so I was happy enough. It's essentially just a modified grenade launcher, but it's so much fun. Much like the firework launcher, it's not exactly a lethal weapon, and it just causes players to ragdoll, which those sorts of weapons are really fun to me. Like, you think about like the Up and Atomizer, for example, as they don't really cause harm. They're more there for sort of, I would say, griefing, but it's just a playful way of messing around with your friends, which honestly at this time of year, you probably are playing with them on GTA. There is also the candy cane melee weapon, which again is just a fun way of implementing Christmas and the festive season into your weaponry. And much like all of the ones I've mentioned in GTA 5, these things don't cost a penny, which ultimately is fantastic. Now, something that we can't forget about when playing GTA at Christmas is, of course, the game modes that you are going to be playing. Now, as they do with every single update on GTA, there is always a triple cash and RP thing going around, and this time it was the Entourage Festive Mix, and I never realised I could have that much fun in a game of Entourage. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever actually played it before this event, and it's essentially like VIP from Halo 3. It's fantastic. You just have two teams. One of them are like Yeti men who are trying to just attack and destroy Santa, who is protected by his elf bodyguards. Obviously the main objective is kill Santa, or if you're Santa, get to a escaping helicopter, which if it was a sleigh that would be even better, but it's still really cool and obviously fits into the GTA universe quite well there. My only real critique of the mode is that if you are one of the Yetis, I'll be completely honest, in all of the games that I have played of it, I think I played about 3 or 4, you are not winning the game. Like, if you are set to that team, you're going to get slapped about. It's pretty hard to attack as a Yeti. You can definitely still get kills, it's not impossible, especially if you focus on the elf bodyguards and then try and sort of beat up Santa and a gang, but it's not the easiest mode to win. However, at the end of the day, while it's triple cash and RP, it doesn't really matter because you're going to earn a good amount of money for your time spent anyway. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. And although that is the winter game mode, obviously at this stage, it's obviously worth mentioning that you can still play any other game mode that you want to. They're just in the snow. So for example, if you want to go smash out a load of stunt races, even though it's really difficult to drive, you can still do that. If you want to do what I do, which is play sumo a lot because I really love that game mode, you can do that in the snow. And again, it just adds a different element to the game mode, having it all be frosty, bit of slip and slide when it comes to driving around. I can't really explain it any other way that it does just reinvent those game modes that you've grown up loving. And of course, it's not just game modes that get updated every Christmas season, you also have a load of new clothing items made available to you as well. All of the festive greats, you can be a little elf, you can be a gingerbread man, you've got, I think the latest one is a penguin Christmas jumper. It's just all cool, it just gets you into that festive feeling. I like spending like 20 minutes trying to make my guy look like a knockoff Santa Claus. I find that really funny, and I know that a lot of other people do as well when it comes to like the RP modes and stuff that you see on PC GTA. I have no doubt that there's a load of Christmas-themed RPs going on right now, and honestly that's great because it's kept the GTA community alive at least. Much like what you have in the GTA narrative mode, you have also got collectibles in the online mode at winter time, so I believe there's 25 different snowmen that appear all around the map, and if you complete that you get a nice little 250 grand cash prize, and you get some new clothing items, which is even better. I love it when games reward you for getting exclusive content for things that you've done, kind of similarly to like getting a certain achievement on a video game. Speaking of specific rewards tied to different modes and objectives, I do feel like GTA Online has really gone the extra mile this year. Not only have you got the return of the Gooch, which is the Grinch, but it's GTA, so of course they call it the Gooch, who you can kill and sort of get another collectible piece of clothing from him. You've also got the Yeti running around up in the Mount Chiliad region, who again, you can kill, you get some money, and you also get the Yeti costume. But there is a Die Hard mode as well, which is essentially like the Nakatomi Plaza stuff that you see in the first Die Hard movie, and you get an exclusive pistol from it. So there's so many little things that you can go around and do. It's not exactly revolutionary or groundbreaking, don't get me wrong, but there's enough there, and it's all sort of relatively festive with a little GTA twist. And I think that's what makes it so special, is that it has that Rockstar flavour added into what you'd say are just general Christmas things. So overall then, what does make GTA 5 at Christmas so special? I think to me it comes from a massive place of nostalgia, right? I grew up playing it. I haven't exactly played it every single year, but it does just bring back those memories of playing with your friends and just having a fun time. I also think that it was probably the first like proper AAA title to really do it and delve into sort of a festive period. I know you might have the odd like winter game mode or whatever, but this is like everything encompassed on GTA, fully sort of adapting and changing the way it is. I feel like Rockstar over the years have fully put everything into it, when realistically they could have quite easily just half-arsed it, right, and just said, oh, the map is now covered in snow, that's it. But there's more to it than that. It actually affects both aesthetically and from a gameplay perspective, which I still think is incredible to this day. You've obviously got all the different modes, the different weapons, the different gadgets that you unlock. Everything just fully encompasses it and makes it special. And if this is the last one we get, with obviously GTA 6 right around the corner, that will be a bit of a shame, but I have no doubt that it will just be replicated and probably improved upon within Grand Theft Auto 6. But more importantly than that, what do you guys think? Are you guys big fans of the GTA Christmas mode when everything comes in and it becomes all festive? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments down below. Have you had a favourite thing that's been released with any of the Christmas modes? Let me know that as well. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing because it does mean the absolute world. Anyway, without further ado, I hope to see you in another video sometime soon.